Opposition leader Chris Hipkins says the wheels are coming off the government and it's only been in power 6 months. The Prime Minister has carried out a reshuffle, with Melissa Lee losing her media and communications portfolio to Paul Goldsmith, while Penny Simmons' disability role has gone to Louise Upston. While Lee and Simmons were criticised in their roles, the Prime Minister has denied it caused their demotion. But Chris Hipkins says both ministers performed badly.
It's taken Christopher Luxon several months to realise what New Zealanders could see very clearly several months ago, that Penny Simmons was making an absolute hash of the disability issues portfolio.
Prime Minister Luxon says the government will be brutal and unapologetic with resource management reform for farmers. The first RMA changes will scrap intensive winter grazing regulations and restrictions around using sloped land. Rules around native bush, mining and industrial regulations will also go or be amended in legislation being introduced next month. Luxon says the RMA has become so complex a cottage industry has built up around it.
There's also a huge amount of burden on farmers and others and businesses on cost and compliance, and all of that is just red tape, and red tape is regulation that doesn't create a benefit.
The government is being challenged over its promises to move beneficiaries into work. Social Development Minister Louise Upston has confirmed its 2030 target of 50,000 fewer people on the benefit includes those who lose eligibility, including people moving overseas, entering prison, retiring or dying. Upston says it'll be offset by others gaining eligibility for JobSeeker. But Greens Social Development spokesman Ricardo Menendez-March says the policy isn't moving people into employment, it's doing the reverse. An Otago University study has found migrant doctors are struggling culturally as we risk losing them unless practices improve. Lead author Dr. Mariska Manners says each arriving medic needs a mentor to help identify cultural differences and their biggest concerns.
Then build strategies to overcome those challenges so that they feel respected, they feel valued for what they bring here and that they stay.
The country has achieved its first trading surplus since last May. Stats NZ trade data for March 2024 shows a monthly surplus of $588 million. Imports fell by 25%. A man has appeared in the Christchurch District Court after the discovery of an explosive device in Redwood. The suspicious item was found during searches on Grimsey's Road on Tuesday afternoon. The man was arrested at the scene and a 38-year-old woman will appear in court later. Both are charged with unlawful possession of an improvised explosive device. Police believe it's isolated with no ongoing threat to the community. Met Service is forecasting mixed weather for dawn services across the country this morning. Conditions look dry for Christchurch, Auckland and Wellington, but wind is forecast in the capital and severe weather warnings have been issued for some regions. Forecaster John Law says heavy rain will hit the South Island's west coast and strong winds are expected in the Canterbury High Country.